I have two questions. One, I want to take you back to coded parties. Then I want to ask you a question on this for this money you made. The coded parties, I'm very introverted. I'm an extreme introvert. I just chill in the house. I play Xbox. That's what I like to do. And I remember when I watched Project X. I've always been like, I would have loved to be at a Project X like party. I never was. I never have been. But I just think that experience must be so insane for those 7 sort of 8 hours or whatever period it is, where you're completely immersed in just utter fun and loud music and just all these things happening while your party's like that. I guess the other parties that you guys would be hosting.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
when you understand the power of entertainment,
Yeah.
you can be able to do magic. We pioneered, I'll just give you a good example. The closest thing I can put to like a Project X is a night we used to do here in Westlands called Bend Over Thursday.
I remember that. I remember the name Bend Over
We
Thursday.
literally would walk into Coca-Cola East Africa in a boardroom, and the manager there would tell us, can you guys do that Bend Over Thursday effect for this campaign that we're trying? Because we had created, Bend Over was just a song.
Yes, I've forgotten who the whatever as well,
Yes,
but
but some
Bend Over,
dancehall
Bend Over,
song,
yeah.
my guy.
Yeah.
We turned this thing into such a spectacle. There would be people on tape. This is a Thursday night, a normal, not a public holiday, and it became every Thursday night for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
People would come out to Westlands in droves until almost 6 in the morning to experience
This
literally
Bend Over
like a
Thursday.
rave.
Yeah.
The things you see in Jamaica, passa passa.
Yeah.
We used to have Jamaican artists come into the country to perform like a weekend show, and they'll spend the entire Thursday night sitting on the balcony of Bend Over Thursday, just like being like, what the guan is.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Nairobi has been wild for a long time, and people here really like to party. You throw in the right amount of alcohol. We invented some guys called party starters. So we used to roll with like a bunch of baddies. They call them baddies
These days.
now. We used to roll with the baddies who you'd come into the party at 10:30 and you'd be like, why are these bad girls so hype? Why are they dancing to every song? And they're part of the entourage.
Yeah.
They're part of
They're
the
part of the
machine.
coded
They're part of the
experience.
experience. And so the parties would kick off early. And it didn't matter where we're going. We'd have these people, we'd move them. This was the community we built from.
Yeah.
So they always knew. These babes knew. Anytime you see Code Red at any place, we're supposed to rock up and we need to have
Were
a
they
good
paid?
time. They'd drink off.
Oh,
our
it's just
table.
right.
Like them, what they got was a good time,
Right.
And they valued the good time more than anything. So if
Right.
it was a paid gig, they didn't need to pay the entrance,
Right.
Things like those,
Right.
But we literally brought experiences to. So now imagine taking that. Then now we're in Kisumu, somewhere in a corner.
Yeah.
And we've been told, come and bring a bash, and we're choreographed. This thing was so tight when Jay-Z came to Tanzania, they called us to come and be the act that plays before
Jay-Z.
There's like a local
Yes,
African who performs. Yeah, they brought down Code Red from Kenya to do that.
So if you were to map out for me what the Code Red, the blueprint of what a Code Red experience was, what would you say it was? Like if you were to map it out and say, so this is the baddies would be on at this time, or this is what it would take. Yeah.
One, there was like people already came with an anticipation. So before you came to a Code Red party, you already knew I need to dress a certain way.
Right.
We pioneered this thing where we all wore literal red.
Right.
So there'd be an army of people in red. You'd see people rocking up and they've made a t-shirt like ours, or they have an old t-shirt that they got from someone. There was always babes. So the babes was the leading factor. You came to a Code Red party because you knew
they were going to be
nice babes everywhere. So you came for that. Then the energy was high, and it was always a performance. There are times you go now to a club or whatever, and the DJ is playing, and you're like, oh, this sounds like the set I had at place X or at place Y. this one was, think of it as like an artist performance. There was always a performance. We did choreographed dances. We had, like there were routines. There was a hype man. So we pioneered the high energy style of DJing. We also collaborated a lot. So you could come to this thing, artists would be rocking up to this place. So at a Code Red party, you'll find Prezo, you'll find Waire, it was where you knew the artists even come out for
The Code Red
gigs.
Right.
So there was that. You discovered music, which was another thing that doesn't happen anymore.
As much right now,
So
yeah.
that time we were the guys who put you onto songs. There used to be a thing that came out every week globally called Radio Express that had like the top 15 songs globally. And we would sift through that and be like, these are the 2 songs we are pushing. And literally in 3 weeks, you'd start to hear other clubs and radios playing this song because us guys started it in a club,
right.
And now people are looking for this. So it was a place of discovery, and you felt as though you were in, the dance hall was dance hall. The Kenyan was like Kenyan proper. And we really understood the consumer, so we made sure from when you came to when you left, you were in a high energy experience. Yeah.